Dear students, welcome back to Act I, Scene 2 of The Tempest. Yesterday we saw how Miranda interacts with her daddy Prospero to find out whether the tempest was created by him, because she was very much affected by the sinking of the ship along with the people on board. And later Prospero agrees or accepts it was his work, the creating the storm, but he assures her that she need not fear anything because nobody is hurt in any way, those in the ship. It's all very well planned and everybody is safe. Then he says that I did all these things for your sake. But you do not understand it because you do not know actually who you are and you do not know who I am in fact. Then he is ready to tell her a story which was being postponed, put off for so long, the story of their arrival on the island. So now she is getting ready to listen to the story. As part of it, Prospero asks her, do you remember any of the things of your past life? And he concludes saying that he may not remember because when I came over to this island, you were hardly 3 years old. But she says, I do remember one incident that I was being taken care of by 4 or 5 women. Then he says it is true, not 4 or 5, there were many more. Then he concludes saying, if you are able to remember things happened in your life before you are coming over to this island, then surely you must be remembering you are coming into this island. But Miranda says, Father, I'm sorry, I remember only this one single event, nothing else I remember. That is where we stopped. So at verse 62, 60, 61, 62. We will start from 63. So 63 onwards. We will begin from 63 now. So when Miranda said that she does not remember her coming into the island, Prospero says, 12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power. Since is ago, before. 12 years ago, Miranda, 12 years ago, what happened? Your father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power. Do you know that? Miranda, sir, are not you my father? So Miranda is confused because she is told that 12 years ago her daddy was the prince of Milan. She knows Prospero was the owner of the cell over there, a poor man. So she is confused. Do you mean to say that you are not my father? So Prospero does not answer directly. He gives the answer indirectly. Thy mother means your mother, that is Miranda's mother. Thy mother was a piece of virtue. And she said thou wast my daughter, and thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir and princess, no words issued. So Prospero says, your mother was a piece of virtue. That means she was extremely virtuous. So she cannot be saying a lie. So she was extremely virtuous woman, and she told that you were my daughter. Your mother told me that you are my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan. And she said that your father was the Duke of Milan, and his only heir and princess, no words issued. And you were the only heiress and the prince. Heiress is one who inherits something. It can, somebody inherits a property or inherits a position, inherits the throne, whatever it may be. So, simply saying that, okay, you are asking whether I am your father. It's your mother who told me that you are her daughter and her father is the Duke of Milan. And you are the heiress to the Duke of Milan. That you are the next in power. That is, after Prospero's relinquishing the office, the next princess will be Miranda. Miranda, oh the heavens, what foul play had we that we came from thence, or blessed was we did. Oh heavens means, good Lord. What you are saying? You are saying that you were Duke of Milan and I am supposed to be the Prince of Milan. Oh my God. What happened? How come that we were removed from there? Was it by some evil deeds? Did somebody do us some harm? How were we removed? Or was it a blessing in disguise? How were we removed from power? How did these things happen? Is it because of the evil deeds of somebody? Or was it a blessing in disguise? And Prospero answers, both my girl. That means it was a treacherous action. It was a misdeed of somebody. At the same time, it was a blessing in disguise. Then he explains how. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence. Heaved means removed. We were removed from there as a result of foul play. Foul play is evil doings. Because of the evil doings of some people, we were removed from there. But blessedly holp hither, helped. But we have been helped here to come to this island and settle down, and that has become a blessing. Therefore, it was both. It was the result of evil things done by somebody that we were ousted from power, and our coming over here and settling has become a blessing. Now, how? It is because they could come and settle down here, their life was secured. And it is because they were settled down close to sea, now Prospero can take revenge on the royal people. Miranda, oh my heart bleeds to think of the sea team that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you further. So Miranda is now feeling sorry for her father, Prospero. She regrets, feels sorry, and she says, "Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the team that I have turned you to. I made you to repeat so many things that happened in your past. I'm sorry for it. Which is from my remembrance." From my remembrance means beyond my remembrance. That means which I do not remember at all. There are many things of the past which I do not remember. Now I have made you to say those things, and surely that would have pained you so much. I am feeling sorry for it. Please you further. Please you further means tell me more, proceed. Yes, it is true that I have pained you by making you to remember so many things which I do not remember. But please don't stop. Please go ahead. I want to hear more. Prospero. Now he is telling the truth. What happened? How he was ousted. How he was thrown out of power. What happened? It's very important. The coming passages are asked many times for examination. Also from the point of view of the drama, also it is important. So please pay attention, and it's going to be very tough, very difficult to understand some of it. My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom nest thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time, through all the signories it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts, without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me, sir, most heedfully. Perfidious. Perfidious. That will be perfidious, will be treacherous. It can be deceitful. Untrustworthy. This word is important. Perfidious is an important word. So now he says a story. My brother and thy uncle. Prospero's brother becomes the uncle of Miranda, naturally. Called Antonio. His name was Antonio. I pray thee mark me. Now this is this is not continuation of story. He just started the story, then he reminds, are you listening? I pray thee mark me. Mark me means take note of me. That means pay attention to what I say. That a brother should be so perfidious. So I can't believe it. I can't believe it. A brother could be so perfidious. Can a brother become so treacherous, so deceitful, so untrustworthy? I can't believe. I think he cannot be. A brother cannot be so deceitful, so untrustworthy like this. But he has been. He cannot be. But in my case, it happened be so. I pray thee mark me means take note of my words, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next to thyself of all the world I loved. Next to thyself. Next to thyself. Next to thyself means, who is thyself? Thyself is Miranda. Next to means first. First is Miranda. First is Miranda. Next is this perfidious brother. So, of all the people, I loved you the best. You, Miranda, you were my favorite. After you came, my brother, your uncle Antonio. And to him put the manage of my state. The management of my state, that is, governing of my state was entrusted to my brother. As at that time, through all the signiories means principalities, it was the first. And Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel, those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother. Okay. So, I entrusted the care of my state, that is the dukedom of Milan, to my brother. I asked him, please take care of Milan. Why? I was more interested in something else. That time, what was the state of Milan? When I handed over the administration of the state to him, among all the principalities, Milan was number one, the best dukedom, the best country. Though all the signiories, through all the signiories, it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, and Prospero, there are so many dukes, they are called dukedoms coming under certain kingdoms. They are not full-fledged countries or kingdoms, they were dukedoms, and the in charge of, or the one who was ruling the dukedom was called the duke. So Duke Prospero was the duke. Not only he was the duke, he was number one duke. Among all the dukes, he was number one. And among all the principalities, Milan was number one. Being so reputed means famous, widely known. So being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel. So famous for dignity. I had a name. I was so popular. For what? I was the number one duke. And for the liberal arts, I was master of the liberal arts. Liberal arts meaning is given there. This is a knowledge of essential subjects like grammar, logic, rhetoric, geometry, astronomy, etc. So, a learned man was supposed to know all these subjects, and Prospero was very good at it. So, he was not only known for his dukedom being the first number one duke, he was also famous for his liberal arts. Without a parallel, there was no second one. I was the only one who was so good at it. There was nobody equal to me. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother. Since I was so much interested in liberal arts, I wanted to spend plenty of time in the study of grammar, logic, rhetoric, astrology, etc. I entrusted the care of my dukedom to my brother Antonio. So you please take care of. You please take care of Milan, its ruling. Take care of people and the territory. I will be in my library busy studying. So that is what Prospero did. And to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. So I asked my brother to take care of the state, and my state grew stranger. That is, I neglected the state. I neglected the administration of the state. I did not have much closeness. I was not very familiar with the state and its affairs. I asked my brother to take care of it. So being transported, that is being carried away, and wrapped means fully absorbed. I got myself fully absorbed in the study of liberal arts. I cut myself away completely from the affairs of the state of Milan. Thy false uncle. Thus, being promoted to this special status of caretaker of Milan, thy false uncle, Miranda's false uncle, that is brother of Prospero. Then Prospero stops there and he asks, dost thou attend me? Do you pay attention, Miranda? Are you paying attention? Do you listen? Or are you sleeping? Miranda, sir, most heedfully. Most heedfully means attentively I am listening. Every word you speak, I am able to hear and understand. No problem, I am listening. So he continues. Prospero continues the story. Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created, the creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them, or else new formed them, having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear, that now he has the ivy which had hid my princely trunk and sucked my vendure out on't. Thou attendest not? O good sir, I do. So, Prospero is continuing the story. We have seen already how he entrusted the care of the state to him and he was busy with study of liberal arts. So much so he got absorbed so much that he forgot everything of the state. And this deceitful brother of mine, what did he do? He being once perfected how to grant suits. Suits is formal request. So being duke or being a ruler, so many people come to you asking for permissions. So a good ruler should know what all permissions should be given. You cannot grant every permission everybody asks. You have to say no to some, you have to say yes to some others. So he perfected the art, being once perfected how to grant suits. That means having thoroughly learnt to grant permissions. To whom to give permission and whom not to give. How to deny them. To grant suits means to allow or to permit. How to deny them means deny permission. Who to advance. That is, whom I should encourage. Some people should be encouraged and brought forward. And who to trash for overtopping. Overtopping is ambitious, being ambitious. Ambitious means having desires which are in excess. See, being a ruler has to find out who is trying to become powerful in the state or country. See, here in the case of Antonio, there will be some people who are very close to him who are trying to snatch power from him and tomorrow cheat him. Therefore, he should know whom to control, how to control. So that's why keep them in check. To trash for overtopping. To trash means to keep them in check. So that means those who are over ambitious, undue desires are there in some people who want to become somebody. Such people should be checked, controlled and kept away. There will be some other people, you have to promote them, support them and bring them up. So my brother learned all these things. Whom to give permission, to whom to deny. Whom to support, to whom do he keep away. So in this way, what did he do? He new created. New created means he won over them. New created means he won over them. The creatures that were mine. Actually, all these people were close to me. They were my own people. But he won over them. They all became his people. New created the creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them, or else new formed them. Changed them means substituted them. Is there somebody not so faithful? If I foresee that, okay, this man is not going to be good to me, so substitute him and keep somebody else. Or else new formed them. He remolded them, changed them and made another being having both the key of officer and office. Meaning is given there. Key of office and officer means the post and the power to administer. What was the post given to him? The caretaker of Milan. What was the key and the office? Office and key, that is the power to rule over Milan, and he ruled over Milan. So the office, the post and the power to administer. He had both. He was not only the ruler, he had administrative powers too. So he made use of the powers given to him, having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear, that now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk. So to make it in a very short way, he learned the tricks of ruling. Antonio mastered the tricks of ruling the state. Whom to grant permission, to whom not to grant. To whom to keep close to him, whom to keep away from him. Whom to check and whom to support. In this manner, he reformed them, transformed them, changed the people who were loyal to Prospero, made them all loyal to him, and at the end, using his office and the administrative power, he made them all to dance to his tune. So they were all ready to play the tune which he liked. That means they were all ready to obey him. In this manner, he became the ivy which had hid my princely trunk. Trunk, you know what is, especially biology students should know. Trunk. This is a major part of the tree, trunk. Tree has got a trunk. When you cut a tree, you cut the trunk, the base remains. So, the ivy which had hid my princely trunk. Ivy is a climbing plant. Evergreen climbing plant is ivy. So, the ivy which had hid my princely trunk. A climbing tree. What does a climbing tree do? Suppose there is a tree. And the climbing tree, it climbs on that. After some time, what happens? Suppose the climbing tree is so powerful. After some time, it will cover the whole trunk. And if it has the power to suck the greenery of the tree, the greenery, the sap, what we call it, sap, no? Biology students will know sap. Sap means the strength or the juice in the living being. It's being sucked. It's something like a parasite. You know, parasite. Parasite come to a tree and gets itself attached. After some time, what happens? It sucks whatever the tree has. The sap is being sucked. After some time, the branch on which the parasite lives, that branch will die and the parasite will live. Similarly, Antonio became the parasite who lived on Prospero. So the ivy which had hid my princely trunk. So it hid my body, my frame. I was the king, but my kingship was being covered by the ivy which was Antonio, and he sucked the sap within me, and I became a useless fellow. He became evergreen always, and sucked my verdure out on it. Verdure means greenery. Out on it means out of it. Thou attendest not. Again is asking Miranda, are you paying attention? Or did you get bored? Or are you sleeping? So please pay attention. This is what happened. I was a fool. I was so much interested in liberal arts. I got myself absorbed in it, obsessed with it. That I asked my brother, please take care of the dukedom of Milan. he took very good care of it and he made it his own. By learning how to deal with people, how to please them, and how to control them, he took control of the entire state and he made them to dance according to his tune. At the end, he became a sort of parasite. He became the ivy that hid myself and sucked all the greenery in me, and he thrived and I became a useless fellow. Miranda, are you listening? Miranda, oh good sir, I do. It's very interesting. Fantastic story. And it's so painful story of yours. How can I be sleepy? I'm listening with a lot of interest.